Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is Understanding Pixel App Tools Part 2. Today we're going to be showing you how to use some of the basic tools in Pixel App, and I'm happy that you're here with us and we are able to learn together. That being said, let's get right into the video. So guys, today we're going to be showing you how to use Pixel App Tools, and from the last episode we covered the tools at the top of the screen, which is in the blue bar. So today we are going to be starting from the bottom. We're going to be starting from this first tool, to the text tool, to the shape tool, to the background tool, and to the effects tool. So let's start with the first one. Here we have the first one on this place, which is the save icon. Now we can use this icon to save our project. We can also use it to view our previous projects. So projects that we have been working on, we can use it to access them. Just like I said earlier, you can use it to access them. Maybe you are working on a project and you were not really done with the project, you can use it to access and then continue the project from where you stopped. So these are the projects I've been working on. Now if I want to continue this way, I can just click on it and it becomes, I continue working on it. But since we don't want to work in any project, we can just go back to default. So this is our default background. Also what we have here are default backgrounds that Pixel Lab has created. Default backgrounds that Pixel Lab has created for us, and we can use if we want to. So we have these, we have different kind of backgrounds. Pixel Lab have already created for us. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we are just going to be using the default background. So that's that with our first icon. Moving on, we're going to the next icon, which is the letter A. This letter A signifies and represents the text interface. Now what this means is that everything that has to do with text, that has to do with alphabets, that has to do with letters, this is where you can navigate, edit, manipulate whatsoever you want to do with your text. This is the interface you use, and for every text that you want to edit, you must click on this text interface before editing the text, and also click on the text before editing the text. So for an example, let's start with styles. That's the first icon on this place. We're going to be starting with styles. Now styles are the normal text effect that you have created. If you have created any text effect for yourself that you would want to use in your design, you can access them by clicking on the styles. And also Pixel Lab has also created and brought default text styles that we can use if we want to. To access Pixel Lab text styles, you can click on browse. Now these are the different Pixel Lab text styles that we have. If you watch, once I click on the style, my new text changes. So let's click on this. Can we see how the text now changes to this text effect that I just chose? Yeah, so that's our text effect. You can also create your text effect and then save it. After creating, let me see, I've created this text effect now and I want to save it. You can click on styles, save. They said save the current text as a new style. Now if you click on OK, you would now save it as a new style. That is the text effect you have created. Now for any other design that you want to do, you can also go back. Maybe you want to use that same text effect, you can go back, take that same effect and then apply it to your design. So let's click on OK and we watch how now we can browse and find our own styles that we've created by clicking styles, browse. You would see default, which is the ones Pixel Lab has created, and then you will see my styles. My style is the one you have created, and these are the text effects I have created with my Pixel Lab. So we have this and we have this. So whatsoever you want to do. So let's go back to default. We'll be moving on to the next one, which is edit. As easy as it sounds, it's used for editing text. So whatever you're writing, whatever text you're editing, you can use here to edit. So let's write happy birthday for our design. Okay, this is used for uppercase and lowercase. This is used to delete, this is used to go back, and OK is to continue. So we are writing happy birthday, isn't it? Happy birthday. Let's put it on all uppercase then. Okay. So we have this. Now we can use this to the next one is delete the text. Right, that's delete text. You can use this to copy the text. As many text as you want to copy, you can copy them. You don't have to go through the stress of rewriting the text again. You can just copy. If you're going to be using the text in another part of your design, you can just easily copy. Also, you can, to front here is used to take this text to the front of any element in your design space. To back is used to take it to the back of any element in your design space. So let's okay, also we have position. Position is used to move your text by pixels. Now we are moving by 6 pixels. So you can move it right, left, up, or down. It depends on how where you want to place your text. So that is what position does. We also have relative position. Relative position is the same with position, but the difference is that relative position moves the text to relative positions. What it means that you can move it to the top, relatively to the bottom, to the center, to the left, or to the right. You don't have to move them by pixels anymore. So if you want to take it to the bottom, to the top, you can just click to the top and it goes to the top straight. To the bottom, it goes to the bottom straight. So that's what relative position does. You can take it to the center also. Center. So it's at the center of the design. So this is for center. This is for left. This is for right. This is for up, and this is for down. So let's take it back to center. Alright. So we have size. We increase the size of our text and reduce it to whatever we want. We have padding. Padding is the box that surrounds the text. So you can increase the padding of your text from right to left so that you can see the whole typeface completely. For some typefaces, their design would not let you see them completely. For example, I can reduce the padding on this right, and probably because of the typeface of this font, you will not be able to see the Y. So if you have a situation like this, you can then increase your padding so that your padding can then cover the whole text, and then you can edit your text and use it accordingly. That's what padding is used for the box around the text. You can increase it, you can reduce it, depends on what you want. Also, we have color. You can change the color of your text to whatever you want. You can change it to a flat color by clicking color pixel that was provided already, or by clicking this plus sign to access your color wheel. Now you can choose any color from the color wheel wherever you want. So you can choose any color from the color wheel. So let's just choose blue. And then okay, so we have a text that is blue. We can make it a gradient color. Gradient is a combination of two colors or more. So we can choose probably something like this. We have a yellow, a green, and a blue color on the text. So that's what gradient does. You can choose, so you can also create your own gradients. Friends, we'll get to this point. You can create your gradients. We'll get to this point. So that's that. Let's take it back to white. So the next one is texture. You can add texture to your text. Texture is like adding a feel to the text. So we can add a good texture, a wooden texture to this text. By doing that, you just have to click on texture and then click on this picture icon. It takes you to your phone where you can then import the texture from your phone into Pixellab. So let's import a good texture. I think I have a good texture here. So this is it. So let's import this. And then when you successfully imported it to Pixellab, you can then click on your good. If you notice, you will see how the text now has a gold texture to it. You see how the text has a gold texture to it. Also, the next one is opacity. Opacity is the visibility or the invisibility of a particular object. So you can increase your opacity or reduce your opacity. You can reduce your opacity or increase your opacity. It depends on what you want in your design. So let's just keep our at 100. Also, if you have a shadow, you can enable shadow, and when you reduce your opacity, the shadow of the text also reduces as well. So that's that. Let's take it back to white. You also have rotate. You can rotate your text however you want it. Any angle you want your text to be kept, you can rotate it that way. Okay, after that we have max. We can max our text. We can remove some part of the text. It depends on what you want to use. Normally, maxing is not really used because it depends on the design you're making. But you can max your text. If you watch what it does, it covers that part of the text, so you can see that part is not there. So it depends on what you're doing with your design. If you want to max your text, you can use the tool to max your text. Use the point to edit, and that's just that. So you also have fonts. You can choose the fonts you want for your text. Now Pixellab have provided default fonts for you, though you can still use fonts that you've imported yourself or downloaded yourself, and I'm going to teach us that on a different video on how to import fonts. So let's just click on the default fonts that Pixellab gives us. So let's use Nevis for this design. Okay, so we have Nevis. This is what it does. So that's font for you. You can also style your font. You can make it bold. You can make it italicized. You can make it underlined. So it depends on what you want to do. So that's that. We also have what again? We have curve. You can curve your font. Depends on what you want to do. To any angle you want, any percentage you want. Okay. Then we have background. Background automatically add a background to the text. So as I click on my enable, you watch that we have a background to the text. You can change the background with the colors: yellow background, black background, white background, just like that. So let's use, I think this is a black background for this. Yeah, good. So we can also edit the padding of the background. Just like I said earlier, padding is the box that covers the text. So we can increase the padding, we can increase the left, we can increase the left, we can increase the left, we can increase the right, we can increase the top, and we can increase the bottom. So it depends on what you want to do. Yeah. So also we can change the radius. Radius is like the edges of the box. We can increase radius to make it curved or not. So it has something like this. So that's the functions of background, text background. Now we have align. We can align our text either left. If you watch, all the text is starting from the left hand and it's on a straight line from the left hand side. You can align it center. Or align it right. So whatever you want to do, you can do. You can also justify. Justify is the same on both sides, making it the same on both sides. But because it's not a full body of text, it's not really justifying well. So let's just keep it back to our default. Let's keep it back to probably center align. Okay, let's continue from here. Now we have spacing. You can increase spacing between letters and between words. Now, if you increase the spacing between letters, you will notice that the space between the letters begins to increase. If you want to increase spacing between words, if you increase it, you will notice that, okay, let's first of all keep our words on the same line so that we can increase the space between them. Okay, so we have something like this. Let's increase the space on the word. Are you seeing what happens? So the space in between the words can be decreased or reduced. So that's what it does. Now we have also line spacing. You can also increase line spacing. Let me edit this back. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's increase line spacing. That's what this does. So if you want to increase the spacing between lines in your design, you can use this to increase the spacing between lines. And then we have stroke. You can add strokes to your design, I can add a stroke around this happy birthday. Okay, so I've added my stroke. So my stroke width is 4. I can change the color of my stroke. If you watch well, there's a yellow outline around the white text. I can make it black. I can increase the stroke width, the size of the stroke. I can increase it, and you have something like this. So it depends on what you want to do. Now let's take it back to 0. Let's disable our stroke. So after that, we have shadow. You can decide to add shadow to your text. Just like I said earlier, if you add shadow, now when you go to opacity, when you reduce the opacity of your text, you can also affect the shadow by clicking affect shadow, and then the shadow of the text will also be reduced. So we have shadow. You can increase the blur radius. I don't know if you can see it clearly. You can increase the blur radius. You can also add outer glow, make it shine. You can change the offset where the shadow is placed based on light rays. So if the light is coming from this way, you want to place your shadow this other way. So that's how it works. Light is coming from here, you want to place your shadow this way. So let me say if light is, I want to place my shadow this way. That's how offset works. And take it up or down. So it depends on where you want to place your shadow. So you can also change the color of our shadow, whatsoever color we want. So that's how it works. Let's take it back. Then we also have inner shadow. The same thing, the shadow comes inside the text. Now, are you seeing the shadow comes inside the text? You can change it just like I've said earlier. The same thing, you can change the shadow inside the text and all. So we also have emboss. You can emboss this and make it have an embossed effect field. So if you click on your emboss, you can make it. You can intensify, reduce the ambient light, increase specular hardness, and then bevel. So we have something like this. So we can add an emboss feel to our text. It depends on what you are doing. Let's undo. Okay, next thing is perspective. You can change the perspective of your text to whatever you want in your design. Let's make let's give it like a diagonal perspective. So when you arrange the way you want your perspective to be, you can then click on enable. So when you click on enable, then you now have a perspective effect to your text. So if you're doing a design that needs a perspective effect, you can use this to do it. You can change perspective to whatsoever you want. Change to whatsoever you want, however you want it. So it depends on what you're doing. And also we have 3D. Once you click on enable, your text automatically has a 3D. But always remember to put off your simulate lightning so that you can have a full 3D effect. Simulate lighting will always make it have these marks, and it's not good for your design. So you can always put it off, and then you can darken your 3D. You can reduce the darkening. You can darken it. Let's keep it dark so we can see it. You can change the rotation of your 3D. Maybe you want to keep it this way. You can change the rotation of your 3D whatsoever you want. You can also rotate your text completely. That's that. Then you can increase the depth of your 3D, and you can change your 3D also from. From perspective to oblique. So let's keep it at perspective. This is like a 3D text. We can use this for our design if we want to. Also, we also have what we call 3D shadow. If you enable your 3D shadow, an automatic shadow comes at the bottom of the text. So we can also use that for our designs. If you have any need for it, you can use that. Also, you can also add the last one, which is reflection, which brings the reflection of your design, like a mirror effect. So if you need this in your design, that's how you can get it by clicking on your reflection button. So that is that. You can increase it, you can reduce it, whatever you want as it suits your design. So this is all for text interface. So we've come to the end of today's episode, and I want to believe you learned something today. My gratitude goes to all my returning subscribers, and if today is your first time, welcome to my channel. Do well to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you can be one of the first people that get notified when we post videos. Watch out for part 3. Bye!